The birth of love at the turning of the night. Before the night turns, before the sun stands still, we must speak of love. Not the love of emotion, not desire, not the fragile warmth that depends on circumstance, but the love that exists when all else comes to rest. Let us begin by saying love is our original state. It is the quiet radiance of the soul that appears only when the ego stops moving. Beneath our thoughts, beneath our fears, beneath the stories we continually tell ourselves, there is a depth untouched by time or turmoil. Whenever we fall through the surface of our personality and land in this depth, we discover a stillness that has always been waiting. This is where love is found, not through effort, not through seeking, but in the moments when the ego breaks open or falls silent. When we cease resisting, defending, trying to be something, there, behind the last movement of the eye, love begins to shine on its own. When the long night reaches its deepest point, and the world is wrapped in a vast silence, we are invited to feel the same stillness within ourselves. Nature itself draws us inward, past the outer movements of living, toward the hidden sanctuary where love is born again. And just as the outward sun comes to rest upon the horizon, so too does our inner life arrive at a sacred pause, one in which the whole cosmos seems to lean close, listening for a mystery rising from the depth. We have descended into this holy night of our solar birth. We have reached our inner winter solstice, the moment in which the night cannot grow any darker, the moment in which the love concealed beneath the rubble of our life begins to rise. We call this birth of love the birth of Christ, the awakening of the eternal light within the soul of an earthly human being. This birth is a feast, for when love is born, the Christ is born. And when Christ is born, a new cycle begins. The earth leans deepest into its darkness at the very moment a new year is conceived. And the same miracle can occur in the birth cave of the human heart. When our earthly life falters, when our old certainties collapse, when we fall under the weight of our own shadows, these are not signs of failure, They are announcements of a new light stirring within us. The I state must dissolve as completely as a year that reaches its end. It has served its purpose. It must be left behind so that a new cycle with new possibilities may begin. When we step into the new, all that is unnecessary falls away. Every inner noise becomes quiet, and divine love radiates delicately but steadily when the new light is born in the sacred chamber of the heart. This is the moment where our soul renewal begins. It is not fully radiant, not yet triumphant, but it is unmistakably alive. Christ is not a figure arriving from the outside, appealing to our senses. Christ dawns from the deepest divine essence within us, the region behind the senses, the place where original light awaits. The light birth happens when the last ember of our original state of light catches fire again in true love. And when this first love rises, it comes without demand, without display, without conditions, without fear. It is a steady, unbroken joy. The state you once were, and the state you are living to regain. This love is the divine child who assists the awakening heart, a new master, a new teacher, a new guide. This is the light that appears in our new soul, a light in which no darkness can exist. As this infant light grows, a miracle unfolds. One by one, our thoughts kneel before truth. One by one, our emotions become still and open in love. And the old I bows before this inner master and becomes its disciple. This is the story of our own inner nativity. It brings new nourishment to our heart, to our inner house of bread, to our Bethlehem. This nourishment, this bread, is the Christ light born in the stable of our heart, at the turning point of the deepest of our personal nights. When this new love is born, the night does not vanish, but it loosens its grip. We begin to see through the lens of love, and we walk with a lamp inside us that needs no outer fuel, for its flame is fed by spirit alone. Where we once reacted, we now calmly respond. Where we once held on, we now release. And as love expands, the heart becomes an endless clear sky in which the inner sun, once standing still at the solstice, begins to rise. A new cycle begins, and the old self melts away like snow beneath the spring sun. In this new light, a joyful, steady consciousness appears, one that seeks the straight path. It spreads through our blood and through our nerves, and it expresses itself in gestures that become patient, open, kind. And as this inner sun climbs the arc of our being, the promised day arrives. Love does not only dwell in our heart, but in our entire being. Immersed in this light, our thoughts fall silent. It is as if the drop remembers the ocean, as if the spark remembers its original fire. It is the heart that remembers its internal light. In this silence, an eternal union unfolds. The sun no longer rises or sets. It radiates from the center, growing in strength without interruption. In this new year of the soul, the Christ light reigns. It is the year in which love becomes the language behind all language. It is the year in which the soul returns to its divine image and purpose. The deep night has turned into an eternally rising dawn. Each winter of the year and of the soul prepares this birth within us. Every pain and sorrow that ever touched our heart softened and cleansed its inner ground. And the loneliness, when accepted fully, becomes a silent cradle for the light born anew each day. And when the hour comes in which our inner sun stands still, the heart opens like a sun gate, and the new power of love can enter it and touch its sacred altar. At first, it may seem fragile in appearance, but it is almighty in essence and eternal in its purpose. And if we stand steady in this light, it becomes the new year of the soul, the year in which the Christ light reigns. Dear listener, let this be the year in which love becomes our language, the year in which our soul merges again with its divine flame. Because when this takes place, the night of our life has fulfilled its purpose. It turned us towards liberation in the fire of everlasting love.